You are listening to Offensive Lines with Marlon and Boyd. Small stakes NFL gambling for the average fan.
Welcome to Offensive Lines. I'm Marlon.
I'm Boyd.
And this is our final podcast, 2015.
Oh, forgot about that. And the final pick show of the regular season.
Indeed.
Week 17. We're still up. We still have a profit. Still turning a profit so far this year, which is good. But that includes all our bets.
Well, even just our regular bets, like our regular season bets, we're still up.
Yeah.
So, up 69.51. That did include the two-team parlay we nailed, too. So, back when we were picking winners.
Yep. Now we're 7 out of 8 weeks. We've been 1 and 2. Fucking terrible.
I know.
Last half of the season hasn't been good. No, this week looks fucking brutal.
We don't have a lot of choices on games to bet.
No, with off the boards.
Yeah, 4 games are off the board.
This is where it hurts us going this early.
Yeah. Well,
but you have to. Who's going to listen when it's fucking a day before the games or something?
Oh, yeah.
That's the quandary you get into. So sometimes it helps, sometimes it hurts.
One of the off the boards, at least, is the Tennessee game, so we wouldn't be betting that anyway.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe by the end of the week, you'll hire your new coach, Chip Kelly.
He's not going to fucking Tennessee.
Oh, boy. We'll see.
Oh.
You know there's a possibility of it.
He can't fuck that up.
He said he wants to stay in the NFL.
I'd rather them hire fucking Wisenhunt back. Because he blew Philly up. Like, they're 5 years out now with what he did.
Yeah.
There's nothing left there. Everybody with any talent he fucking got rid of.
And he says, I wouldn't be involved in personnel anymore. But he kind of denied he was in charge of personnel in Philly this last year.
Yeah, got rid of Macklin, Deshaun Jackson, LaShawn McCoy, an offensive lineman, I can't think of his name.
Yeah. I think it was 2 offensive linemen. Brought in a terrible overrated cornerback from Seattle. Yeah, that team's in a lot of trouble now.
They have no quarterback. Limited at wide receiver.
Their best running back is Darren Sproles, who will break down soon.
And Matthews couldn't stay healthy. Yeah, it made no sense.
Aguilar as being a first-year bust. I mean, that's too early to pronounce.
For wideouts, yeah. There's not many that... We've had this discussion before. Not many do. There's more than there ever was that have success in the first year. But it's nowhere near 50%.
No, it's still a low percentage. 1 in 5 maybe, and I'm talking top 3-round talent.
Yeah. So, be interesting to see who they hire now. I just don't know, why wouldn't you wait till week 17 to cut him loose?
Oh, yeah. What I read was he had a meeting with the owner who said, we want you to back off on your personnel, which he refused. And I think the meeting probably didn't go well. And just
the owner was pissed off.
Yeah, I get the impression the owner was not pleased in spite of his lovely... press release. But I think if you have a meeting and say, look, we're going to scale back your responsibilities, and that meeting goes to the point where you just fire the guy afterwards, it didn't go well.
Well, no, I read on interesting stat on Twitter. Jeff Fisher, 20 seasons in the NFL, 6 seasons above 500. Chip Kelly, 3 years in the NFL, 2 seasons above 500. Fired. Yeah, that about sums it up.
So, I'm going to torment you about his eventual Tennessee arrival.
Sure. They're not hiring him in Tennessee. I saw that on Twitter, too. Now it frees him up to go to Tennessee without compensation. I'm like, he's not going to Tennessee. It's failed. His experiment failed. He needs to go back to college where all his fucking machinations of drinks and sleep studies and fucking all the other bullshit works, because the kids have no say at all. So in the NFL, where they're making millions of dollars, they just go, what the fuck is this guy doing?
Plus, you can burn out 90% of the kids. It's like the pros want to have long careers.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I think him going to Tennessee would be terrible. Because this is the guy who in college says, my system gets quarterbacks hurt. And that's proven true. It's about the only thing that has.
Yeah.
And so that would be really terrible.
But I don't understand what they were thinking with all the personnel moves they made in Philly the last year or two. 10-6, 10-6, and then you blow it all up? Like, they weren't that far off.
Well, I think it's kind of related to what you just said. It was the people who did not take him as total authority over everything.
Not even that. Yeah, but he got rid of the ball.
That isn't that part of blowing it up?
I know, but you can't get rid of all the talent and not replace it. And
I think you do if you're a petty little tyrant.
And he had, 6 or 7 guys from Oregon on the team, and Philly's a mess. And that's the risk you run when you bring in I think there's a way you could run that offense, not full-time. But if you ran up tempo 3 or 4 times a game, you could fuck with a lot of teams.
Yeah. I mean...
But he wanted to do it all the time, which you can't, because of the skill levels, there's not that big a disparity in skill level like you face in college, where you only have 1 or 2 tough games all year. Every week in the NFL is tough. But when you've had some success, you get rid of all the players that gave you that success on the offensive side of the ball?
It's because you're in complete egomaniac and you believe it's all your system. We've had this discussion before, too, where Belichick adjusts what he does based on his personnel. The coaches I don't like just want to run their system and try to force the personnel into it, whether they're a match for it or not.
Well, and the ego thing is the reason the meeting didn't go well. As soon as they wanted to scale back what he did, he flipped out and got fired.
That's my guess, too. We won't know, but... Because as you said, why do it now?
With 1 week left, why not fucking... It's not like you get a jump on fucking hiring a new coach.
Nope.
There's going to be... Well, Detroit will probably be open. Tennessee's going to be open. Philly, Giants, Miami, Denver, Cleveland. What's that, 6?
That's at
5
least,
or 6?
Yeah, that's 5 or 6 right there, and there could be more. But, all right. I think that's about all the news that we really need to touch on. Shall we do this thing?
Let's get at her.
All right. It's that time, once again.
It's motherfucking game time!
Motherfucking game time. First up, there is no Thursday game this week.
And no Saturday.
No Saturday, no Thursday. It's all Sunday. No Monday. Which makes sense because then you avoid rested versus unrested teams in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, all right. The first game up is off the board. Baltimore at Cincy. Well, I think Cincy's going to be about 5.5.
Yeah, probably. I was going to say lower, just with McCarron in, but his MRI just showed a sprained wrist, so he shouldn't have a problem. I fucking don't know. I got to take Cincinnati.
Oh yeah.
Baltimore, you can't tell me their defense turned the corner.
No, I don't think last week's sustainable. And they don't like Cincinnati, but they hate them a lot less than they hate Pittsburgh. If there was a game that Baltimore could get up for.
Yeah, if they wanted to fuck anybody, it's the Steelers, which they did.
Yes. Good for them.
And us.
Well, they fucked us, but, at least we got to see the Steelers ass raped, too. All right, the next game up, Detroit +1 at Chicago.
Who'd you take in the last one? Cincy?
Yeah, I took Cincy.
Okay. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, we are tied, so...
Yeah, none of that not giving an answer and then filling it in after the fact shit you've pulled all year.
Actually, it's easier for me to just change your answers.
It's just... On that note, let's just say Pete Townsend.
Fine, man. All right. Detroit at Chicago.
We might have to put this in the mix.
For Detroit?
As a potential underdog pick. There's not a lot there.
No, there's not. I do like Detroit. The offense is playing pretty well.
Chicago, all they have is a running game.
Yeah.
Really.
And Detroit's had some hiccups, but their defense has been playing a fair bit better as well of late. What makes me a bit hesitant is Caldwell is the definition of a lame duck, I think.
Yeah, but he's been that since their, 0-6, 0-7 start or whatever it was. They're pretty much just riding it out, and they've kind of turned it around. With those two shit losses they had against Seattle and Green Bay, they'd still be in it. This game would mean something.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right. And Caldwell could keep his job, which I don't think is necessarily a good thing, but he's certainly not already putting stuff in boxes in the office.
No, and if you get rid of Caldwell, you get rid of Jim Bob, which has turned the offense around.
And who Stafford seems to genuinely like. Yeah.
Yeah, he wants Cooter back. So what do? You see the turnaround in the team when you change the offensive coordinator, which hardly ever works in mid-season. So what do? Do you fire Caldwell or do you keep him around? Because the new coach isn't going to want the old offensive coordinator.
No, I mean,
unless you make it a stipulation on the job.
The only time I can think of a coordinator staying is my defensive coordinator, Pagano, with when McCoy came in. For Turner, they actually kept him. But it's so unbelievably rare.
Well, there's another job that might be on the line, too.
Maybe. I really hope not. I find it hard to... I mean, front office has more to do with the Weddle thing.
Yeah, but the Chargers are fucked. That's fucked. That they find him for staying to watch his daughter at halftime?
Yeah.
That's fucked.
I know. It's unacceptable, but...
Yeah, signed Greg Hardy to a $30 million deal, NFL, and then fucking let him fine fucking Weddle for watching his kid in a fucking meaningless fucking game. It's not like it was the fucking Super Bowl. You pricks.
Yeah, I'm not pleased with that. All right, this is in the mix. I think we're both on Detroit.
Yeah, good luck signing free agents. Good luck attracting free agents when stories like that float out, too. Fucking joke.
Yeah.
You guys are done. Until they get rid of that fucking ownership group, good luck.
Yeah, the Spanos family isn't going anywhere. So, all right. Next up, off the board, Jacksonville at Houston.
Hoyer is in the last stages of concussion protocol and will start if cleared.
Is that a good thing?
Well, you've been doing okay with Whedon. You won the last 2 games with Whedon at quarterback.
Hoyer didn't really set the world on fire.
He is better than Whedon, but what if he get, well, I guess it doesn't matter if he gets dinged, you just fucking put Whedon back in, but... And I think they're thinking they're going to need to score some points in this game.
Yeah.
I think Jacksonville might want to fuck the Texans over here. Just for shits and giggles, they might have a good game. And the strength of Houston isn't their pass defense, so they might have some trouble. So I think Hoyer's going to start. Like, what could they be waiting on for concussion? If you're in the last stages, it means everything's pretty much back to normal. You just got to go work out for a couple of days and be headache free.
Yeah, practice or run around, do the things that bring on the symptoms, right? And if the symptoms come on, then you're back in the protocol. So
his cognitive stuff's all back.
So, and I don't know that there's a huge difference between Whedon and Hoyer, to be honest.
Well, Hoyer's a little better throwing, knows the offense better. You have to start him.
Yeah, because I don't even know what the spread would be at this game. Jacksonville
Hoyer,
can't seem to stop anybody.
4?
Yeah, I was thinking 4.5, 5.
Just a little more than what it would be for home field.
Well, if they hang a number on this, and I would say if it's 3.5 or more, I'm going to take Jacksonville. If we're just going as a pick'em, I'm going to take Houston.
Yeah, I'm with your logic on that one. Give me Houston, but if it's like 5, I'd take Jacksonville.
Okay, we'll check on that. Yeah, so we're both on the same thinking here, but all right, next up we have New England -10 at Miami. I know New England screwed us, but Miami ain't the Jets.
I know, but 10 seems like a bunch, doesn't it? With that offensive line.
It does with that O-line, but...
And no receivers to speak of?
I can't get the horrific vision of Miami out of my head from that Chargers game. And you know what I think of the Colts. And
no, I know.
They handled Miami. They have no O-line either. I mean, Indy went through another 2 quarterbacks in that game and still won by 8.
6, but close enough.
Oh, 18-12, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll put it in the mix. That's how shitty these games are.
Yeah, and that's the only reason I'm putting it in the mix either. And I feel gun-shy right now on it, but...
Yeah, Miami is shit for the whole season.
There's absolutely no... Like, the coaching staff knows they're all done. The players know the coaching staff is all done.
Yeah, but you're still playing for a job regardless of who the coach is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, that'll help the second stringers, but Tannehill has looked abysmal.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm hesitating on this, the way Miami's played the last bit. And New England needs to win this game to get home field.
Yes. And they did lose 2 in a row this year, but we know how rare that is. I mean, that's just a win, but...
they don't want Denver to have home field throughout the playoffs. So Yeah, they could lay a boot stomp. And only thing that's scary at 10 is the backdoor cover if they're up 16.
Yeah, and start pulling starters.
No, just in the fourth quarter, that fucking 2-minute drive that they just give up the touchdown just to eat the clock. That fucks you all the time.
That's why I hate laying this amount of points. But as we've talked about, this is an ugly fucking board. So I'm going to keep it in the mix for now.
Yes.
All right. Next up, we have New Orleans +4 at Atlanta. I can't figure these fucking teams. I want nothing to do with betting this.
Oh, see, I don't mind New Orleans here. There's no way Atlanta plays 2 games in a row like that. But then you have New Orleans pass defense against Julio Jones.
Yeah, New Orleans has gave up more touchdowns. Well, they set the record now.
Yeah,
They've
43.
given up 43, and Julio Jones is still Julio Jones.
Well, he has an outside shot at 2,000. You need a monster game, but against New Orleans, it could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'm with you on this one.
Just staying away. And I'm kind of with you on New Orleans +4.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say this. Playing hurt or not hurt or wherever he is, Breeze has still been putting together pretty good games.
And this another job that could be up for grabs. There's rumbling Sean Payton's done at the end of this year, too. And they don't know if they're bringing Breeze back.
Well, I would assume if Payton goes, they would probably... Breeze is getting paid way too much to be the quarterback for a first-year coach when by the time his system's in place, Breeze will be gone.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much dead money they'd be in for there. I think that will probably be the...
Well, I think isn't he done at the end of this year?
No.
Breeze?
No, I don't think so.
Well, there's probably an out with the guarantee. There's an out in every contract, so it can't be that bad because there's rumblings out there that he's gone and Peyton's gone. So the hit can't be that bad. Like if it was going to be $15 million, you're better off keeping him.
Yeah.
But
I'll have to look on it, and I do think he's a pretty significant dead money player because it was only about 2 or 3 years ago that he re-upped.
Yeah, but that's usually when those contracts die.
Yeah, around year 4. We'll have to look into that, but...
I'm looking it up right now just to see what it is, because if Peyton's gone, Breeze is gone.
Unless the scenario I just described.
Yeah. When did he sign it? 5-year deal, but when did he sign it?
What's the date of the article that you're looking at?
Oh, it's from September 30th. Oh, here we go. Let me just read this story.
Okay.
It's quick. Oh, it's from a New Orleans paper, too, so that's good.
Atlanta at home, too, can be tough. But I like getting 4 with a better offense.
Oh. So Breeze's contract for next year is $27.4 million.
Holy sweet fuck!
It's the last year of his contract, and now it was increased up to $30 million because they converted $5.2 million of his base salary into a signing bonus. So that's $2.5 million cap hit.
Yeah, but if they cut him, it's... I mean, these things can be structured in so many ways, we can't even predict what the dead money would be.
Okay, so yeah, the dead money's $10 million.
Okay.
If he's released or traded.
Last year, the contract, I'd keep him.
At $30 million?
No.
That's a quarter of your cap.
Oh yeah, no, sorry. Yeah,
fuck,
no,
take
there's
the
no
fucking
way.
10.
Yeah.
Take the $10 million hit, not the $27 million or $30 million hit. Fuck. They're dead in the water with him or without him. What's their record? 6-9?
Yeah.
So, and how long did Rivers sign for? 2?
No.
Or 3?
5.
So they'll be in the same situation next year, I think. They'll be looking at his.
Leave it alone, Boyd.
No, it's Marlon. Well, if it makes sense for New Orleans, why wouldn't it make sense for San Diego if they have the same type of year?
Because one's predicated on injuries, and it's entirely different, Boyd.
It's not.
And there aren't that many quarterbacks. I don't know when you decided that getting rid of a quarterback because the 14 years Tennessee has spent without one shows you how impossible that is.
Well, you'll realize it after it's done, and you're still looking. Because I was the same way with McNair. But when you hang on too long, you get fucked with any player. I don't mind that they're getting rid of Weddle. You get rid of the older guy, you're not winning. So why franchise him at $18 million or whatever that would be? I don't like how they handled it, just like I don't like how the Titans handled McNair. But when you hang on to those guys that extra year, it fucks you. And when you're 6-9 or 4-12, like the Chargers are going to be, or 5-11, and he's eating up a fifth of your cap, where's the benefit when you finish 5-11? That's my point.
Because we were productive until we lost our entire wide receiving core, our entire offensive line, and half the defense, Boyd. There's 5-11 or worse when you've got truly nothing. This is a fair bit different. And we can do this in the offseason again.
No,
Boyd,
but you think you're a playoff team. Healthy.
We were 2 years ago.
Yeah, but 2 years of what were they last year? 6-10, 7-9?
7-9. 2 to 3 games out. Went through 6 centers. I mean, again, and getting a quarterback, by the time Tennessee has a chance to do anything, you're going to be paying Mariota that or he'll be cut too.
Yeah, but he's not going to be 37.
Yeah, well, a lot of guys are playing to 39, Boyd. You hang on to your quarterbacks. I mean, how many did you draft in there?
So you're going to hang on to him, put your rebuilding back 2 to 3 years, and be in the same position Tennessee's in. So what's the difference?
Well, because Tennessee's been in rebuilding for over a decade.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that.
And they got rid of their quarterback, so that didn't really work so fucking great.
Well, he played one more productive year in Baltimore.
Yeah.
So it worked out okay. That wasn't the problem. Upper management's the problem. But San Diego is not at a point where they're going to compete for a Super Bowl. They're going to be lucky to compete for a playoff spot next year. And by the time your team's going to be good enough, Rivers is going to be 38, 39.
Yeah, and there's no quarterbacks in the draft. And anyway, let's move on here. I don't want to do the whole Rivers fucking debate for 20 minutes. New York Jets -3 at Buffalo.
Is this a possibility for our underdog pick?
On Buffalo?
Yeah.
That would be the way the world treats us, because then Pittsburgh would sneak back in.
Well, yeah, Pittsburgh
but Buffalo's
plays
not
Cleveland.
very good. I mean, Buffalo, the Jets' defense is good. They just held, admittedly, a damaged New England team to about 20. Buffalo couldn't score on
what was the score?
Dallas's defense.
What was the score in their first game, do you know?
I can look it up.
I'm just Googling it right now. I'm interested in what the offense did. Bills won 22-17 in New York.
And that was when? November 12th.
November 12th.
And who was that? A game that Fitzpatrick missed?
Well, that's what I'm looking up. Oh, that doesn't give me anything. It just gives me a preview of the game. Oh, there we go. Let me get the box score. Click on the Jets.
It was Fitzpatrick for 193 yards. So he played. LaShawn McCoy ran well. I don't know.
Wow, it's Detroit or Buffalo.
Yeah, I know. Rex Ryan sucks. The team has nothing to play for except to make their bad coach feel better.
And neither team did much of fucking anything.
I don't believe in Tyrod Taylor at all. I mean, I know you're predicting the Fitzpatrick game, but that's just a hunch and a belief that he will screw you.
Well, he will.
The Jets win, they're in. I'm actually taking the Jets here, Boyd. I assume
Buffalo.
You're taking Buffalo.
Yeah.
I was predicting that. Oh, next game up. This is gonna be a treasure. A treasure, Boyd. Philly +3 at Giants.
Well, as the saying goes, you get to pick the NFC East.
That was when you had a 5-game lead. I don't think an interim coach can get this team together.
Well, they're not going to change anything. They're not going to change the offense for a week. It's going to be Chip Kelly might as well be there. That's why I don't understand firing him. It makes no sense.
A less efficient version. Well, something had to go really wrong in that meeting, Boyd. That's my.
Oh, I know. I agree, but it's you couldn't swallow your pride for a week. Like you got what, 4 or 5 days left? No, come on. It makes your franchise look like a complete fucking joke.
Yeah.
He has no advisors around him that can get through. Like, firing him Black Monday makes no difference to now.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually a very dickish move by the owner, which makes the franchise less attractive to potential high-end coaches. You're gonna end up fucking getting coaches like Cleveland gets. He keeps you acting like this. Same in fucking, and I'm not doing this just to you because you're a Chargers fan, but same thing in San Diego, same thing in Tennessee. You treat coaches and players like shit, you're going to have trouble attracting that. It's not a desirable job. It becomes less desirable the more dysfunctional you look. Because no coach wants to go in and go, oh, I don't really have a shot to win, and the owner's an asshole. So, I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. It makes no sense for anything they're trying to accomplish in Philly. They're going to run the same offense, the same defense. Nothing's going to change.
Except it will be a less efficient version.
Well, it shouldn't be because they just only fired the head coach. So you either put the old... I didn't see who they named interim, but it's going to be either the O coordinator or the D coordinator, so nothing's going to change.
Yeah.
Do your job, and we'll pack our boxes at the end of the season, basically. So, Philly looks idiotic.
Yep.
They're a mess. Well, the whole NFC East is a mess. Giants are going to need a new coach. Who knows what's going to happen with the Cowboys?
Washington is the best-looking fucking franchise in the East right now. Yeah,
they look like the model franchise. And they were a clusterfuck at the start of the year with the RG3 Cousins thing. So
they were, but it was the right fucking call.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with the call, but how it was handled and how it looked like they were trying to get RG3 hurt and all that shit.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about that.
The whole NFC East is a fucking joke right now.
Yeah.
So who's your pick?
I'm taking the Giants. I don't see anyone in the secondary who can cover Odell Beckham. who will be playing at full speed.
Well, if a team ever had reason to give up, Philly's just been handed it on a silver platter. If I'm in Philly, all I'm trying to do is make sure my knees make it through week 17.
Yeah. And then there was the story that, who was it, Peters, the O-lineman? Supposedly took himself out of the game, not wanting to get hurt for this fucking team.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't either.
Nope.
Well, and the other thing was apparently DeMarco Murray, when he went and talked to the owner, said that Kelly had lost the room, which probably isn't that far off either. But
yeah,
the whole thing's a shit show. So
yeah,
how can they be expected to? All they're going to do tomorrow is answer questions about Chip Kelly. You think they're getting a good night's sleep tonight?
Yeah. It's just like,
because you got to figure out what the fuck to say. Yeah.
So you're on the Giants as well?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, the Giants are terrible, but
I'm surprised it's only 3.
I was thinking that too. I mean, but the Giants are terrible.
No, but a coach fired on Tuesday of a game week should shift the line a little. Wouldn't you think?
I would think so.
Is that how little respect Chip Kelly has throughout the world? That the line doesn't even move when you fire the coach 4 days before the game?
Who knows? Maybe the line moved the other way.
Yeah, I didn't check the line yesterday.
No, I didn't either. I just did it this evening. So, all right. Next up, we have Pittsburgh -10 at Cleveland.
Oh, I would like to bet on Pittsburgh here, but I can't.
It's the same scenario of backdoor cover. Manziel, I guess they're ignoring his drinking over Christmas now.
Yeah. Well, why not? I thought there was going to be severe consequences if it happened again.
Well, that was the last time. So he had the severe consequences, so now it's over. I guess it starts again at 0.
Well, no, they said after the last video surfaced of him drinking at the club, it said next time something like that happens, there's going to be severe consequences. Well, he's starting again this week. What are the consequences? Are they just playing him to try and trade him and not cut him outright? But who's going to trade for him when you know if they're offering to trade him, they're going to plan on cutting him if they can't trade him?
Yeah, he's worth almost nothing because you can just be patient and take a crack at him.
Yeah.
As long as you don't have to fill that backup quarterback spot in a big hurry and see the market dwindling, you're just going to wait for them to get rid of him.
Well, have you looked at the list of backups? It's dwindled.
Yeah.
Charlie Whitehurst was playing. It's dwindled. They had some guy. Houston had a guy they plucked off Seattle's practice roster as their as their backup quarterback on Sunday against Tennessee.
Hasselbeck can't possibly be alive any longer.
No, it's dwindled. There's nothing. So I don't know who takes a shot at Manziel. It's Dallas.
For
sure.
I was just going to say, the obvious choice in this case, I think, is what's going to happen. Particularly with what happened when Romo went out.
Yeah, but does Manziel give him a significantly better shot at winning than Castle? Probably. Not significant.
I would say yes.
He's an upgrade.
With a better O-line and better... Yeah, I would say he would have won 2 or 3 of those games.
But do you want Manziel in the locker room with Dez?
Oh, fuck.
We could have a whole new instance of the White House in Dallas.
Too bad Dallas made the playoffs last year because, God, I would love to see another Hard Knocks with that. Johnny and Dez.
So, fuck. Well, Jerry Jones, he'd fucking volunteer for it. For Hard Knocks.
Yeah, he might. He's getting older. He still needs his media time.
Fuck. That said, I'm still taking Pittsburgh in our picks, but I don't want to bet on it.
No, unless we find absolutely nothing. Next up, Tennessee off the board at Indy, because if we catch the right flight, we might be the quarterback in Indy.
Yeah. Or Tennessee.
Is Mettenberger hurt?
No, but he should be.
As long as they don't trot Mariota out there.
Nah, he's not playing. The malarkey's just going out there trying to make it look like he's something still when he knows he's done. When you lay an egg like that at the end of the season...
To a not particularly fearsome Houston team.
No. When you do absolutely nothing and fall flat like that, you're done.
Yep. And
the first 5 games,
Pagano's
I thought he might
done.
have a shot. Yeah. Oh, there's another job.
Yep.
And we're up to 8 or 9 with San Diego and New Orleans thrown in there. Holy fuck. Well, who's going to take these jobs? Are they just going to recycle these pricks?
That's what's happened for the last quarter century, so...
Well, and it doesn't help when the Chip Kellys of the world come into the league and flop.
And the thing is I don't even put that necessarily on his system. As you said, it could be successful in some thing. It was when his ego got out of control. Name me anybody who's done a good job as GM coach.
None.
Exactly.
That's why they've all taken it away from them.
And most guys will never even ask anymore or demand.
Well,
they realize...
Pete Carroll's had a big say in Seattle, I guess.
Well, and Belichick has a say in New England.
He has a big say in New England.
I mean, he might be de facto GM like Jimmy Johnson was.
Well, and Carroll's the same in Seattle.
Yeah. But
so
again,
you can have some success, but it's
and they don't
limited.
have the titles, right? So it's not constant, and you've got someone to handle a lot of the bullshit, like the nuts and bolts of contracts, right? You've got a director of player personnel, or the one who actually has the title of GM. They keep all that work off your table so you can do what you do best, which is coach football.
Yeah.
And that's what Jimmy Johnson did, too. So that's the way to do it if you want that much control. That said, I really have no idea. Holy crap, these are some terrible games.
I got to take Indy. There's no option. They need the win. Tennessee's playing out the string. And it's...
But
Tennessee's
who's going to be at quarterback?
I don't care. Tennessee's not winning that game and losing the first overall pick.
I'm taking Tennessee.
So,
all right. Next up,
Josh Freeman.
Oh, goody. I like my pick more and more. Washington off the board at Dallas. And I was hoping we'd get a reasonable number on this one. Now, why is this one off the board?
Dallas?
I didn't think Castle was hurt.
No, they started Keller or whatever his name is last week.
Oh, right, they did.
It's got to be Dallas related.
Yeah.
Or the fact that Washington could rest starters, but
Washington's not good enough to play that move.
No, but they might only play him a half. There's no point in getting Cousins hurt. You're playing in the first round anyway.
Yeah.
Get him in for a quarter,
you
got
a home game in the first round.
You're not getting guys hurt. That could be one of the reasons, or it's something to do with Keller and Dallas.
I think it must be. So, yeah, I'm still taking Washington.
Me too.
And, it's too much money, but I think suddenly the love affair between Jason Garrett and Jerry Jones is over.
Yeah, but...
one good year in 6.
Yeah, but you could play the San Diego card there too with all the injuries they've had this year.
That's true.
And they didn't stop competing. Like, their games have been close.
No, that's very true.
And you bring me Matt Castle is like you gave me Brandon Whedon and Matt Castle to win with. Like they lost to Seattle 13-12, lost to Buffalo 16-6, which was 9-6 basically when they were trying to run out the clock, like you described last night.
Yeah.
In a recap show. Lost to Tampa in the last 30 seconds. Lost to did they beat the Giants they beat the Giants at the end. They lost, they lost like 4 or 5 games in the last couple of minutes, just like the Giants have.
Yeah.
So defense was better than we thought, and they had nothing on offense when Dez and Romo went down. So this year I won't put on Garrett completely. It's more on Jones.
Yeah.
He got him a good running back to replace Murray. Like
McFadden's having a hell of a year. He's like 9 short of 1,000.
But they had no quarterback. And nothing to pick up the slack for when Dez was gone.
No, on that you're right. That's just was my bias against Garrett coming out. All right, next up, Oakland +7 at KC. Numbers a little high, but Oakland doesn't look good.
Well, the Kansas City just beat them, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago?
Oh, this is okay.
With their defense?
Yeah, and Oakland was pretty much in control of that game.
And KC has an outside shot at getting a bye in the first round.
Yeah.
And they're going to be watching. Well, they still need to win this game
They absolutely need to win this game to get into the wild card, I think.
Well, no, because who else is it? Who's at 9-7? Or no, they. I don't. No, they're in the playoffs.
Okay.
Kansas City's in the playoffs, but it depends who you want to play. Like, they have to win the division and hope San Diego can pull off a miracle and beat Denver.
Yeah.
Now, if you see the scoreboard and it's 28-7 in the third quarter for Denver, do you fucking call off the Dogs and not risk? Because it's not going to really change anything.
That's way too much for Andy Reid to keep track of.
Well, no, but what if you're down a touchdown to Oakland or it's close and Denver's up big, what do you have to gain?
A game.
It's to matter to what though? You're still finishing 5th or 6th.
Yeah, I don't think that matters. They like their winning streak. They're going to keep him in for the winning streak. They know that they're not that scare from Cleveland. They're going to play hard all the way through. And Oakland is not good. I don't know what suddenly happened to Carr. He was absolutely fucking brutal.
Well, no, here's the thing. You want to win that game. You want the 5 seed because if you'll be playing either Houston or Indy.
Oh, yeah.
The 5 seed's valuable.
Yeah.
Who's the other wild card?
Jets
and KC.
Jets or Pittsburgh. The absolute fucking last thing you want is one of those two teams.
Well, who's the 3 seed then? You got New England, Denver, and
Cincinnati.
Cincy. Well, Cincy's not a bad game either. But you'd rather have Houston or Indy.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah. No, so, I've got KC here.
Yeah, me too.
And their lackluster performance last week. And seriously, I think Oakland got 3 first downs in the second half. KC's defense with their backups is probably as good. No, well, actually, San Diego's D has been playing surprisingly well with Weddle on the field. Oops.
Yeah.
Next up, San Diego +8.5 at Denver. I can't do it against that defense.
No. But that might be San Diego's plan, just to secure a better draft pick, too, find an excuse to sit Weddle.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't that egregious of a fucking thing he did. It wasn't egregious at all.
No, I think it had more to do with the fact that he was vocal about how much he loved San Diego and, did the emotional thing that, they want to say San Diego doesn't want us, which, they've had 15 years.
Marlon, what in the San Diego coaching staff, because he said he wasn't granted permission to stay on the sidelines during halftime. What fucking coach is going to say that to a team that's whatever the record is?
I have no idea, and I don't know who said it, whether it was Pagano.
Well, it had
the
to
other
be.
Pagano.
It had to come from fucking the head coach.
Yeah, well,
like, what player on the team would be pissed off at him? Like, he doesn't know the defense?
Yeah, no.
You run the plays through him. I'm pretty sure he's got it under control if you told him what the adjustments are. If he got in there 10 minutes late.
Yeah. No, I'm not defending it, Boyd, but
no, I know. It's just it just pisses me off that the NFL is this fucking petty. It's disheartening.
Yeah.
Yeah, playoff game, okay. He probably wouldn't even ask. Or if that game meant something, he probably wouldn't even ask.
Yeah, I mean, guys are taking dumps. I mean, it's not like they come in military precision and get their orders. That's not what it's really like.
No, from everything I've heard, coaches come in the last 5-10 minutes and give a couple of things they want to change, and that's it. It's not like you rework the whole fucking game plan.
No, you can't. Anyway, like halftime adjustments, Belichick's good at them, but he's just good at things that most people aren't.
Yeah, but more adjustments are made during the game, whether you see what the defense or the other offense is doing anyway.
Exactly.
So, whatever.
That's it. I'm taking Denver.
I want Denver to lose this game really badly, so we win our Kansas City bet.
But I don't see it happening.
No, we had our shot.
Yep.
With Cincy and fuck.
At 8.5, I'm almost tempted with the Chargers, but this Weddle thing fucks that too.
Well, yeah, they lost by 14. They only put up 3 points against them in San Diego.
Yeah, but they only gave up 7. One was a defensive touchdown.
No, I know, but it's still... I can see that happening again.
Yeah. All right.
Because all they have at running back is Woodhead. And not great for that defense. And you've cursed their offensive line for 2 years with injuries. Not you, I mean, pissed off about it.
Oh, well, it's
not an actual curse.
Yeah, no, I didn't have a ritual sacrifice animals to make my team suffer injuries.
So that Denver pass rush is going to be relentless in that game. You lost your best receiver. I don't know. I can't see Osweiler would have to have a shitty game for the ages for them to lose.
Yes.
And he hasn't shown that yet. So.
Yeah, so I've more or less. Do we want to take our $5 on KC if they're still offering?
No, we said we were riding it out. We're fucking riding it out.
Fair enough.
We lost our hedge. If we'd have won our hedge, I would say, yeah, maybe.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
See what they're offering us now. Nothing.
Oh. Wow.
That makes that decision easy.
Yes, indeed. Next up, we have Seattle +7 at Arizona.
You know what? That's my fuck up. I should have looked at it when I got home, and it was 14-3 at the half for Cincy. Fuck. Probably was up 10 or $12.
Yeah, with this bet buyback, we got a...
Never even thought of it.
No.
But we said we were going to ride it out.
Oh, yeah. I'm not regretting it.
And with Cincy up 14-3 at the half, I wouldn't have taken the payout anyway. So It doesn't really matter. Okay.
Seattle +7 at Arizona.
Well, this game means a fuck of a lot to Arizona and nothing to Seattle. So, do we like Arizona here? Like, what's Seattle playing?
7 points is a bunch for a team that, with the exception of last week, had been absolutely goddamn cruising. Now...
Who? Seattle?
Yeah. Seattle had been putting up piles of points on everybody.
Yeah, but
now
Arizona's
does this game
30+. If they weren't playing at the same time, if Carolina played early, I would say, okay, yeah, they'll know if they have a shot at it or not. But they don't.
But I don't think they have much fear of Carolina losing to Tampa Bay.
Well, they lost to Atlanta.
Yeah, that's different.
And that was that Tampa game close against Carolina in Tampa?
No. We thought it would be, and it was not.
I don't know. Seattle's playing for absolutely nothing. They're locked into their spot.
Yeah, they love winning late, man. It's like you don't tell a team that you can, oh, well, we're playing for nothing, take it down. Carolina beat Tampa
I just
Bay
don't know how much they're going to play.
37-23.
I don't know how much they're going to play.
They won't stop. They do not want to come out, Carolina, with 2 wins to end after going 14.
No, I'm talking about Seattle.
Seattle has got to play hard. Yeah, but again, that's telling the players, well, this doesn't really affect our seeding. Oh, so we just want to end the season on a 2-game losing streak because we built our whole reputation on finishing strong and coming into the playoffs hot.
If they're down 10 in the second half, they're not going to pull guys.
Seattle?
Yeah.
No. They're absolutely not going to pull guys.
When did the philosophy change so much? In the NFL. Like, if you haven't got a rhythm in 16 weeks, you shouldn't be in the playoffs now anyway.
But, no, and Seattle's reputation, rhythm, and the whole idea is they win late. This is their whole identity. There's no way they want to come into the playoffs on a 2-game losing streak.
Well, that's an overrated way of thinking, too. It means absolutely fuck all. Momentum is your starting quarterback's how he plays week to week.
Yeah, but a winning, it's a cliche and it may be incorrect, but winning breeds winning. Losing breeds losing. You don't want to just quit. How did that work for all those fucking Peyton Manning Indy teams?
Well, that was more an indictment on the AFC as a whole than...
No, he couldn't even get out of the AFC.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. That they were 14-0 those years, and they'd rest guys.
Yeah, they'd rest guys.
That was just the AFC was shitty as a whole.
And they lost their first playoff game a bunch. So people are going to look at that and just go, no.
Well, Seattle has no running game. The receivers, I can't see that being more than a blip, that their offense was that good.
It was a month-long blip.
No, I know.
And Arizona doesn't get pressure unless they blitz. And that's somewhere where Wilson has usually been terrific. If they had a relentless front 4, or even 5, like the Rams had against them, and they could cut off the edges, but it's all exotic blitz packages there.
Well, I'm taking Arizona.
I'm going to take Seattle.
I can't argue with over 30 points a game average. Home field advantage they have is close to Seattle's. Might even be better than Seattle's right now. Seattle has nothing to gain from winning this game. Human nature tells me guys aren't going to be fucking going balls to the wall and risk an injury to a key player for a meaningless regular season game.
Well, you've been pulling Zona right a lot more than me, so you're probably correct, but I'm still taking Seattle. Next up, we have the Rams at the Niners. -3.5 for the Rams on the road.
Seen Jeff Fisher's teams enough to know that they pull 3 or 4 games like the Seattle one out of their ass in a year. They've yet to do it back-to-back this year. I'm taking San Francisco.
Okay. I am as well. I like your argument there. I still don't trust... I mean, all they have to do is stop Gurley still. I don't trust that offense a bit. Though they're better with Foles out, that's for goddamn sure. Next up, we have Tampa Bay +10.5 at Carolina.
Oh, boy. Well, Carolina definitely needs this game. I don't know what the situation with Ginn is, his health. Jonathan Stewart was just testing out his ankle on a treadmill today. How healthy do you think he is? He's not playing. You can't risk him playing. You need him more in the playoffs is more than home field throughout right now. His health.
Oh, yeah.
You're getting a bye regardless. Without him, we saw what their offense was in Atlanta. It was shit.
Yeah.
With no threat of a running game.
I brought it up on the recap show last night that, I mean, it didn't help that Newton couldn't fucking hit guys. But, I mean, part of that could be the tighter coverage because they don't have Ginn. But Tampa Bay is brutal.
Yeah. So was Atlanta's defense. They had been giving up a boatload of points all year. And after the first 6 games, they were awful defensively and offensively. So I don't know how Carolina's going to win this game.
Yes.
I would think. I don't know if I can lay 10.5 without Stewart. You don't think Winston wants to beat Cam Newton?
Yeah. No, I'm agreeing with you, and I can't find much.
It's weird to say that a 14-1 team, I shouldn't just lay the points. It's hard to think that, oh man, I'm wiffle-waffling on this one.
10.5's too much for a team. I'm taking Tampa. I'm going to kill myself.
Oh, fuck. See, the only thing that scares me in taking Carolina is the fact that Carolina had a couple of games with big leads that they fucking gave up. Green Bay and
Giants.
Now, there's no Odell Beckham Jr. in fucking Tampa Bay, but like up 17 in the fourth, do you feel safe with that? 10.5?
Now, in Tampa, Tampa Bay actually put up 23 on them in week 4.
I think, Newton did fuck all in that game. That was the game that Winston had 4 turnovers. No, give me Tampa.
Okay. And the final game of the regular season. Minnesota plus 3.5 at Green Bay. I know we got burned on this one before, but I'm pretty tempted to take Minnesota here.
Me too. I don't know why. Fuck.
The one game Minnesota. Oh, man. I don't know.
What gives me confidence in Bridgewater? They shut down Peterson, and Bridgewater had nothing.
He's playing a lot better now than he was.
Yeah, but he was playing okay up till then. That's why we took him.
Yeah, but what has Green Bay done, as you bring up every week?
No, I know, but it's almost the Oakland fucking scenario here. They shit the bed against Seattle and Green Bay in the last month. The 2 games that could actually say we've arrived.
Yeah.
And they shit the bed. They're not upper echelon yet.
No, but neither is Green Bay.
No, but for some reason, Green Bay kicked the living snot out of them.
Well, that was their only year running. Minnesota must have decided they weren't even going to try. But isn't Starks injured?
Well, no, they couldn't stop James Jones either. They couldn't stop Jones. They couldn't cover James fucking Jones. And the problem with Minnesota is if you have corners good enough to play man, they have no receivers, which allows you to put 8 or 9 guys in the fucking box. Because does Teddy Bridgewater really scare you that much? I'd bet on stopping Peterson to win the game versus Bridgewater, concentrating on Bridgewater. The only way Minnesota wins this game is if Peterson goes for about $120. And I can't see it. He's been down a lot in the second half. His numbers are down considerably in the second half of this season. Was his last good game against Oakland? When they beat Oakland?
No, he's
been at about 60 yards for a month a game.
No, he tore up the Giants last week. He got 110, 120.
Okay, what did he do against Green Bay? Fuck, he touched it 8 times?
He had 158 against Atlanta. He had 92 against Arizona. 203 on Oakland, 125. He's only had a couple of games under 100.
What did he get against Seattle?
That's not on my sheet. So, yeah, they shut him down.
And Green Bay shut him down. No, I can't. I'm sorry, burn me once.
Okay.
Fucking shame on them. Burn me twice. Shame on me. Give me Green Bay.
I thought you were going to go George Bush there on it. On your fool me once. You don't get a chance to fool me again. I can't remember his babble there.
90% of the game's mental. The other 50% is physical.
All right. Well, that leaves us 3 games. We're laying 20 points over 3 games, Boyd.
So we're no, we can't be. We have to have an underdog in there.
Oh, yeah, okay. We're laying a total of 19. two 10-point games with New England minus 10 at Miami and Pittsburgh minus 10 at Cleveland.
That was in the mix?
Yeah. And Detroit +1 at Chicago.
How can we lay 10 in Pittsburgh? Fuck.
Pittsburgh's offense is still good. One terrible week, I'm not ready to write off their offense. That's the statistical blip.
Oh, New England. Fuck, do we want to take the Jets?
Well, you have Buffalo.
I know.
Who would you want to take out then?
Pittsburgh.
I'm open to that. I have the Jets. I don't mind New England on Miami, just because I've seen Miami play a bit, and they look
I don't
awful.
mind that one either. But Pittsburgh looked god fucking awful. Like Roethlisberger had 30 yards passing in the first half.
Yeah. No, I'm fine with the Jets. Instead,
it's just
I'm switching your
Pittsburgh.
pick, obviously.
Yeah, we teased Pittsburgh down to 4 and they lost.
Yeah, to Baltimore, who's
Not
arguably worse than Cleveland.
Yeah, they had a quarterback who was on the street a week before, in Ryan Mallett, and Pittsburgh couldn't beat him.
Okay, let's go the Jets instead.
So, 10, I don't think Cleveland's going to win.
No,
I'm just not comfortable betting on Pittsburgh to cover 10.
And he can't score in the red zone, but Manziel can move the ball.
And that's Cleveland's biggest rival, is Pittsburgh.
Yep.
So, they played the Chiefs tough. Yeah, I got to go. We got to go Jets.
Okay.
Okay, so change my pick to the Jets. We'll take New England +10.
-10.
Or -10, sorry, at Miami. $10 pays $18.33. Booked. We're taking the Jets -3 at Buffalo with the fear of the Ryan Fitzpatrick game lurking. $10 pays $19.09. Booked. And are we taking Detroit for our underdog game?
I think so.
Yeah, that's the most... Okay, we're taking it on the money line then, even though it only saves 0.5. It's -110 or -105, so might as well take that. So we have Lions +1 in Chicago. Money line, sorry. Money line in Chicago. $10 pays $19.52. Oh, they're all booked. Oh, this week. You were right last week when you said week 16 and 17 are a fucking slap in the dink.
Yeah. That wasn't my phrasing, but I wish it had been. I like that. All right, to recap, we have Detroit on the money line. 10 pays $19.52. We have New England laying 10 points. $10 pays $18.33. And we have the Jets laying 3. $10 plays $19.09.
All right, well, wish us luck. We're going to need it with these fucking games. If you want to listen to our podcast, you can check it out on iTunes or Stitcher for your Android device. offensivelines.ca. Follow us on Twitter at Offensive Lines for any updates to our blog posts or when a new podcast is available. Our personal Twitter accounts at Marlon or at Boyd. Facebook.com/offensive lines. And if you want to send us an email, it's offensivelines@shaw.ca. I'm Boyd.
I'm Marlon. Happy New Year, everybody. And those, such as they are our picks for Week 17.
Fuck the Chip Kelly to Tennessee rumors. All of you.
Degenerate fucking gambler.